All right. Hopefully the mic volume is all right. I'm talking NFL draft right now. My name's Kevin Neary. I just have to get this off my chest. As many people that are mock drafts that are out there, I'm going to give my reasoning for the teams to select who they're going to select, and we're going to start it right off the bat. Okay, we're just going to get right into it, and I'll go over their rosters and all that nice stuff. Okay, so the Tennessee Titans have the first overall pick in the NFL draft. After a what an up and down, I would call it an up and down season. More down notes than anything. For obvious reasons, they have the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. They weren't very good. They had a Tony Pollard running back situation, Tajay Spears in the backfield. There were plays that made Will Levis I made me doubt how I thought of Will Levis. I said to myself, "Holy shit! Look at that pass! Look at that run! Look at the uh, the shoulder injury knocked him down a peg or two. That's for sure. And it after coming back from the shoulder injury, he was benched for Mason Rudolph. It is the consensus number 1 overall pick that the Tennessee Titans are taking Cam Ward. I don't know how I don't know why they would just take Cam Ward and not give Will Levis a second chance in there. They've suspiciously loaded up with extra quarterbacks in there. They got Brandon Allen. They signed him from San Francisco 49ers. Dude is like a journeyman right now. I think he was on the Carolina Panthers, maybe the Buffalo Bills for a little bit of time. Just top of my head. I could be wrong. But Brandon Allen, the Timu version of Josh Allen, we'll call him that. So, and then they got Tim Boyle, which I think Tim Boyle, yeah, he's not going to play though. Along with Will Levis. So you're telling me you're rostering 3 quarterbacks right now, and you're going to draft a quarterback number 1 overall. This is your plan. This is the plan. You're going to draft a quarterback number 1 overall while also holding on to 3 quarterbacks. You're going to carry 4 quarterbacks. It feels a little suspicious that Will Levis hasn't really been vocal about who they're picking or whatever. That feels very, very suspicious. So Cam Ward is, by the way, the only reason I used to bet on the Miami Hurricanes. He was the only reason, besides good coaching, of course, that I would bet on Washington State. Just the most talented quarterback in this draft class, without a doubt. So we're going Cam Ward, number 1. Cam Ward is going to be selected by the Tennessee Titans, number 1 overall. They have new coaches in, again, if Cam Ward does not perform to capabilities, Will Levis will be there without a doubt. Very hungry, he's got those Mayo. What has he got? Mayo commercials going on. Anyways, we're getting into pick number 2 now. Just going right through it. Now you're the Cleveland Browns. Imagine for a second, you are the Cleveland Browns. And everything has always gone wrong for the Cleveland Browns. The only thing times went right is when you moved out of town and became the Baltimore Ravens. Deshaun Watson's contract and play performance have been lopsided, to be polite. Okay. They're going to have to, they just signed they got Kenny Pickett. Wouldn't really call him a starter from what I've seen in Pittsburgh, flashes in Philadelphia. So he's got to be a backup. To who? Who can you get the fan base excited about? Or who can we draft that is the best player at this position? Do you go on Abdul Carter and run Abdul Carter on the edge and Myles Garrett on the edge as well? Do you do this? I've heard this theory before. ESPN analysts are going over it like it's the smartest idea possible. Nick Chubb, is he going to be re-signed? What does the run game look like? Jerry Judy, who's going to be throwing him the ball? Kenny Pickett? What is this team going to look like? Do you trade back? Do you trade back? Who wants to trade up to get who? Lot of questions. Let's just assume in this draft, right off the rip, that everyone is staying put. Okay. That every team is staying 100% where they are and where they are supposed to be. Who do you draft if you're the Browns? Do you take the Heisman Trophy winner, probably the best two-way player, only two-way player in the draft, Travis Hunter? Do you go for Travis Hunter? So you have these three consensus picks: Abdul Carter, Shador Sanders, to get the fan base excited, if not just for anything. I mean, Shador Sanders, Deion Sanders, these guys have got to do it for you. Abdul Carter, your defense will be almost unstoppable, hypothetically, unless Abdul Carter gets there. He sees that it's a circus and says, I think I need my surgery now. I think that's what I need. I'll be out for the season. Catch you later. Wouldn't be the first time an athlete kind of does that. So you can comment down there. We are live. It is late. It is a late 2:56 in the morning on the East Coast right now. 2:56 in the morning. I'm doing a live mock draft. But if I am the Browns needs right now are a quarterback, wide receiver, offensive tackle, running back, defensive tackle. They need a whole team. They need a whole team to get themselves through it. And man, I wouldn't put it past them to just, with the second overall pick in the NFL draft, pick up Shador Sanders. That would at least reinvigorate the fan base 100%. So you pick Shador Sanders to do that. He's going to get a big contract. Okay, either he will or Kenny Pickett will, one way or another. You have these contracts lined up that way. By the time you're done paying for Deshaun Watson and eating it, you got to eat that contract. By the time you are done with that situation, you have Shador Sanders will be ready for a new contract. So this makes a lot of sense when it comes to contract issues, fan base fire up. And let's face it, Shador is a talented quarterback. Is he more talented than Jackson Dart, Jalen Milroe? Is he more talented than these guys at the top? Tyler Shug, Will Howard. Is he more talented than a Quinn Ewers, Dylan Gabriel, Riley Leonard? Is he more talented than these guys? Kyle McCord. Is he more talented than these other quarterbacks in the draft? Is he more talented than a Carson Wentz that they can just sign and plug and play, or go after a Kirk Cousins type? Is he more talented or equally talented? I would say that in this specific position for the Browns, talent and upside matter. Contract length and money, money and contracts matter big time. Contract matters, and star power matters. Okay, you got Showtime coming to Cleveland. You have to pick Shador. You got to get his kid in on this. Kevin Stefanski is a very capable, offensively minded coach. Okay, so this is the route that I have them taken. Up next, the New York Giants. Now, you have Brian Dable up for his job. These guys gave Saquon Barkley a see you later pass. They signed Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston. They still have DeVito in the quarterback room. I doubt they're going to go quarterback. You don't want to reach. You don't want to be the reaching Giants, constantly reaching. Daniel Jones, they picked with a 5th overall pick. years ago. How did that work out? That did not work out very well for them. On the block, you have Abdul Carter. Do you want Abdul Carter in New York? Is this a thing for you? You have Thibodeau on the edge. Could you line up Abdul Carter with Thibodeau? Does Carter get there? And again, he might need surgery. Does he say, "Hey, um, thanks, but no thanks"? Or if you're in job saving mode, if you are in the mode to save your own job, you have to show your work every second of every day. You have to show your work. So, especially when you are on the hottest of hot seats, you have Bill Belichick just hanging out in North Carolina, watching his uh, 28-year, 27-year-old girlfriend go to frat parties, and now he's the king of North Carolina Tar Heels. You know, just looming, waiting for you to fail so he can take your job. I think that the New York Giants go Travis Hunter with a third overall pick. Okay, this way the Giants could have Travis Hunter, Malik Neighbors, Darius Slayton. Okay. You can run Hunter on slot routes if you want, long routes. Just use him as a gimmick plays if you want. Running back, I'm sure he knows how to do that. You can play the kid anywhere. You can play him at cornerback if you want. You got Russell Wilson. Another thing that the Giants can do is they can show the owner a Heisman Trophy. They could say, "This is not a bad pick. Look at the trophy. Check it out. Great pick for the Giants." Travis Hunter goes to 3. Patriots on the clock next. And, you got Vrabel back in business. You have, with the Patriots, Drake May, he's going to need someone to throw to. Drake May, he's going to need someone to block for him. Drake May is going to need maybe a defense. That way he doesn't have to be on the field all the time. If you're Mike Vrabel and you're in that room, who do you take? Who do you pick? The Patriots are trying to do the opposite of what a Bill Belichick would do. It's awfully tempting to just go ahead and take Abdul Carter. Do you just take him? Do you just take Abdul Carter? You need an offensive tackle. You need, and they are sparse, by the way. There's a good amount of offensive tackles in this draft all around, but man, it gets real. I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'd say there's about 7, maybe 8 tackles in the draft, and the Patriots to get an elite offensive tackle. Give Drake May some time. Drake May still has young legs on him. Okay, so he still has young legs, ready to run out of danger. Do you go wide receiver? Right now, their wide receiver room, oh my God, it does not look that great. Wide receivers in this draft, deep-ish. Okay, maybe a second rounder falls to you. Deep-ish is there. I say the Patriots don't pass up on Abdul Carter. They see him. Mike Vrabel's eyes light up and just hits the button, takes Abdul Carter with the 4th overall pick. Jacksonville Jaguars. This is where the draft gets interesting. Okay, and I mean interesting in such a way that the Jaguars are mocked to take a Mason Graham. They are mocked to take a Will Campbell type. I do not have them taking either one of those players. Evan Ingram was cut from the team. They need a tight end. They need a tight end. You need to make sure Trevor Lawrence has a tight end to throw to. You need an elite tight end from this draft class. Just somebody. So you're down to Tyler Warren or Colston Loveland. Tyler Warren, Colston Loveland. These guys are very, very similar. They do a lot of things right, both of them. Both of them can go vertically down the field. Both of them are more of a catching, less than blocking type of tight end. Where do you go with this pick? Because they're not like they are not uh, too far away from each other. Do you go tight end number 5 overall with Mason Graham, Will Campbell, Ashton Jentney on the block? This is another idea too. Jentney. Now, running backs are deep in this draft. Are you going to stick with ETN and Tank Bigsby? Because that combination last year didn't get you results. They did not get you wins. If you add Ashton Jentney, is that going to get you wins? If you add a wide receiver, Christian Kirk, I think he's gone. I know Brian Thomas Jr. is there. Great, amazing, awesome. I know they have a Gabe Davis there in Jacksonville. That's a good secondary wide receiver right there. Do you go wide receiver on this one? Do you go slot wide receiver? You could probably wait until the second round. But now, without an Evan Ingram, you need a tight end. Okay, this is an absolute need. And I think they did it with the intent to draft Tyler Warren. Okay, so we're going to hit Tyler Warren for the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's an offensively minded NFL anymore. You got 2 quarterbacks, a wide receiver cornerback combination, and basically Abdul Carter goes to the Patriots because the Patriots are the only team that just can't help themselves. They just can't help themselves just being themselves all the time. You have Mike Vrabel there. Do you think he's going wide receiver in the first round? He is not going wide receiver in the first round. Should they go wide receiver in the first round? I don't know. I mean, I think it's really tough to pass up on an Abdul Carter type. Anyways, we do have the Las Vegas Raiders coming up. New coach, Pete Carroll, legendary Pete Carroll. Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly, offensively, we're very familiar with what Chip Kelly likes to do. We're familiar with how Pete Carroll likes to kind of scope a team. So we can get, as NFL fans, there's a hard list to chisel down. Geno Smith is going to be their starting quarterback. Kudos. Amazing. Great for you. They need a cornerback, according to Pro Football Network. They need a cornerback, running back, wide receiver, safety, defensive. They need everything. They're the Raiders. Did you see them last year? They played hard for Antonio Pierce. That hard play did not keep him his job. So, new regime coming in there. Tom Brady influence. Okay, you have a Tom Brady influence with Pete Carroll in the room and a Chip Kelly. Your offense needs a running back. I think they have Zamir White, who was a fantasy football bust, and even worse, a bust offensively. I know Madison was gone. They just picked up Raheem Mostert, who still has some gas in the tank for sure. The consensus pick I've seen on a lot of mocks would be Ashton Jentney. I'm not going to disagree. I like that idea. I like the pick. Can they get a wide receiver? Do they have Geno Smith likes a taller wide receiver to throw to? He was very accurate when passing DK Metcalf the ball. And another type of DK Metcalf would be a McMillan in the draft right now. So do they go that route? Is that the route they go? Do they go wide receiver? Is this the first wide receiver taken off the board? Or do you go for the dynamic Ashton Jentney, Raiders running back? Do you go cornerback? You have Will Johnson there. Will Johnson at cornerback from Michigan. Excellent cornerback. Besides Travis Hunter, probably the best in the draft. It's the Raiders. It's Pete Carroll. rebuilding the Roman Empire, and you can't rebuild the Roman Empire without a Marshawn Lynch type of player. Ashton Gentney, is he a Marshawn Lynch type player? Do they go first round right off the rip? Do they go first round running back? I'm putting it through. First round running back Ashton Gentney going off to the Raiders. If you can find a passing rhythm, a passing game, you'll be in okay shape. They can get a wide receiver in the second round, quite possibly. Okay, we're on to the Jets. I like what the Jets have done. I really do. I like anything. Anything is better than recreating the 2015 Green Bay Packers. Okay, it's not it's not a homework sheet you need to really copy off of. Okay, Aaron Rodgers, legendary quarterback. They said, "See you later." They got a Justin Fields. Okay, Justin Fields played very well with Cole Kmet type when he was Chicago Bears quarterback, Steelers quarterback. You know, he needs some time to throw the ball. He's a solid 6'2". Kid's a baller. He was one of my favorites in the draft besides Trevor Lawrence. I did not like a Zach Wilson idea. Aaron Glenn, former player. This guy, if you look at him and you hear him on the mic, you know he is dead set on getting a team structure down. Okay. And this is what the Jets have been missing: structure and identity. Structure and identity. You need team players for the structure and leadership and identity. If you don't have that, you are you are losing games one after the other. So um, good players for this idea. Okay, really good idea would be a Mason Graham, great locker room guy. They need a defensive tackle. A Will Campbell. Will Campbell would also be another really nice idea for the Jets. Membu, Armand Membu out of Missouri is getting a lot of push to go to the Jets. He's good. Okay, he's a really good offensive tackle, and the Jets sure do need it. Um, what I'm about to predict, though, and I'm just going to throw it out there, is maybe if you need leadership qualities, good in the locker room, and ready and available, pro ready. Jalen Walker. That sounds like a good idea as well. Conklin is there as a tight end. I don't know if that's their future tight end. Colston Loveland. Is that an area the Jets want to go towards? There's a lot to be desired if you're a Jets fan. But leadership quality and position need is another one. Let's take a look at defensive tackle depth in this. There's a lot of them. These guys, there's a drop off, but it's not a hard drop off when it comes to defensive tackle depth. So if I'm the Jets, I'm not going to go Mason Graham. Will Campbell. Well, now you have somebody to help Justin Fields run with the ball on the block. I would go Will Campbell, LSU offensive tackle. That's where the Jets are going. It's stable ground. He could play guard, outside tackle, center. The guy's all over the place. He's very talented. Don't let the arm length fool you. Okay? He can move his legs. He's a Kelly kind of player out of LSU. Anyways, we're on to the Panthers. We are on to the Panthers right now. On to the Panthers. And the Panthers have been doing some weird stuff. It hasn't been working because here they are. And a little recap so far of the draft. I had the Tennessee Titans picking Cam Ward, the Browns picking Shador Sanders, the Giants picking Travis Hunter, Patriots picking Abdul Carter, the Jags picking Tyler Warren, the Raiders picking Ashton Jenney, the Jets picking Will Campbell. And with pick number 8, the Carolina Panthers, they need a cornerback. Okay. These guys are fine with picking players that are a little banged up, but high market talent. Will Johnson fits this. He's a little banged up right now. He's a high market talent. The Panthers last year, they're fine with picking injured players that will eventually be good. Their owner is both equal parts impatient and patient, the way that he is having influence on the draft. Okay. I would say that the Panthers draft cornerback Will Johnson, Michigan. And we're moving on. The Saints. And by the way, the Panthers to pick Will Johnson, that's a smart idea. That is an outstanding player right there for you. The New Orleans Saints, we're going to move on to. The Saints have a missing link for a little bit of time now. You don't have Michael Thomas. He's not there. You have Olave. He's there. Shakir, I think I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Your wide receiver room, it needs some help. Kellen Moore, he's there. And you did just get rid of a you got rid of a Hill, which is that's something. That is significant. So what do we do? You have Juwan Johnson as your tight end for so long right now. Do you go Colston Loveland? Do you go offense? Your a cornerback just got taken off the drafted board. Do you go edge? You go running back? What do you do? What do you do? You're the Saints. You have Alvin Kamara as your running back. You want Hampton in the back? Is that what you want? You want Hampton in the backfield? They need a guard as well. And there aren't too many guards really in the draft. There might be 2 above average, and then you're really digging in the dirt. I would go if I was the Saints. I'm going to want to have the better idea than Taysom Hill, and I want to have another better idea with a wide receiver. I think that the Saints go ahead and they draft McMillan out of Arizona. I think that's a big missing piece right there for the Saints. Give Derek Carr that big red zone target, and you watch. They'll be slightly more deadly. It's a good pick. The Bears on the clock. We're moving forward with the Bears. The Bears are on the clock. Okay, with the 10th overall pick, the Bears. So the Bears, their offensive line is a little tricky. Every season, it's the talk of the town. Offensive line, my God. Running back situation. Man. Wasn't bad last year. Wasn't great. It was above average 6 games, below average 4 games. Just an average kind of year for their run game with Swift being there. Safety, edge, linebacker, edge, linebacker, that screams Jalen Walker to me. That's what it screams. Screams Jalen Walker. Their coach, Ben Johnson. Don't know what that screams. I I have suspicions. I think their new defensive coordinator is Dennis Allen, and uh, I'm not really sure if Jalen Walker is a Dennis. By the way, Dennis Allen is a very quiet voice in a loud room. Um, so I would say the Bears surprise everybody by continuing to bolster their offensive tackle room, and they just go out of Missouri, Armin Membu. And that's a good pick. It really is a good pick. You want to keep Caleb Williams happy, keep him safe in the pocket. We have plenty of running backs, okay? Plenty of running backs in this draft. You could get one in the second round, get one in the third round. You don't need to reach for a running back. Okay? You just don't need to reach for a running back. So, the San Francisco 49ers are up next. And it's obvious. You're the Niners. You got to rebuild. You got to rebuild that line. And this is going to be a real quick pick. He's there. Take him. You got two choices: Mason Graham or Jalen Walker. Mason Graham or Jalen Walker. Now, if you're the Niners, you expect yourself to be able to find defensive tackles later. Okay? Like a Mason Graham. You can't find a Jalen Walker later. So I have the Niners taking Jalen Walker. Because why would you not take Jalen Walker? He just fell in your lap. The Bears probably contemplating, should we take him? Should we not take him? Should we take him? Should we not take him? Jalen Walker, by the way, the differences between him and Abdul Carter, not much. Not much at all. Not much of a difference. Their pursuit of the ball, I mean, it's astonishing how fast they can close on quarterbacks and tackles, and it's just outstanding. The Dallas Cowboys are up next, and we have to try to get into the mindset of Jerry Jones. This hurts my head every time, okay? Because I don't know what Jerry Jones is going to do. You lost, you need a guard, you need a tackle, maybe a wide receiver, possibly a wide receiver. You need a running back. I mean, they have down here that they need an edge. Do they need an edge? In my opinion, I don't. I don't think so. I'm ruling out that edge idea. Offensive line, they need it. They definitely need it. They do have Joe Milton as a backup, so I don't really feel like they're concerned about Dak Prescott getting hurt in the pocket. They should be, but I just feel like they're not. I think what Jerry Jones is becoming is a guy that when he sees a player that pops, he wants them. And no one popped more on film than Matthew Golden. By the way, I think they still have Dalvin Cook on their roster. All right. So, for them to go running back this early, I don't think it's going to happen. But to go wide receiver and you can get Matthew Golden, you do it. And Jerry Jones will pair up Matthew Golden with CeeDee Lamb, no problem. Matthew Golden goes 12th overall. My team. I know better than any other team. The Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins are on the clock. Oh, my God. We just had retiring players. We need a defensive tackle, guard. We need it all. We really do. I mean, we lost a safety as well. So, safeties are kind of deep in this draft. Okay? Offensive tackles out, guards and tackles are not. Okay? So, the value pick, you go guard. You need to go guard. Although, there is still a Mason Graham on the board. Where have the Dolphins selected from before? They've selected from Penn State last year. Chop Robinson, there's your edge. Okay. Um, you lost your safety to the Giants. Okay, and the Giants do have a really nice safety cornerback backfield going on right now. So you lost that. Do the Dolphins go Mason Graham? He falls to the Dolphins. Does he fall to the Dolphins? Because after the Dolphins, you have the Colts coming up. Does Mason Graham fall to the Dolphins? Are they interested in signing him? You have Tyler Booker too, Gray Zabel, Donovan Jackson with your guard list, Wyatt Milliam, which I guess kind of deep there. I think the Dolphins look for their safety replacement first before they look at lines because it's the Dolphins. And why wouldn't they? They're going to go Malachi Starks on this one. And it's going to feel like the good pick. He's a talented safety out of Georgia. A guy can cover ground. Jalen Ramsey has lost more than one step. He's lost 2 steps. He's going to be probably moved to free safety, by the way, by the time he's done. He'll get hurt. Now you have the Colts coming up. Everyone has the Colts taking a tight end. Okay. Jim Irsay, the owner of the Colts, man, you have Anthony Richardson in this room. You signed Daniel Jones. You told Richardson just be better than Daniel Jones. That should be an easy task. You need a tight end. You don't have any tight ends. You need a wide receiver as well. You don't really have any wide receivers out there besides Michael Pittman. And I think Walker is out there somewhere. I think they did pick him up out of North Carolina. No, it was the Ravens last year. But you see, I can't really name a consistent wide receiver out there. I mean, they do have Alec Pierce. He was doing okay last year, catching some touchdowns, doing his thing. Do you call the Anthony Richardson experiment over and done with? Are you done with it? Jackson Dart's still on the board. Okay. Jalen Milroe is on the board. You don't want your quarterback room looking anything like another Anthony Richardson. You don't want your quarterback room looking like another Daniel Jones. So I think they're going to say to themselves, we've already got 2 guys we like in this room. I don't know what there is to like about Daniel Jones. He does care when he's in there. Do you go tight end? Do you want these guys to just have chip shots in there? Colston Loveland is your guy, and I have them taking Colston Loveland. By the way, it's a good pick. It is a good pick all around. Colston Loveland off to the Colts. Every year, the Falcons draft offensive players. Every year, it just happens. This year, I don't see them doing it. But what do I know? You got on the board wide receiver out of Ohio State, Emeka Ikabuka. How do you not take him and give Michael Pittman yet another weapon if you're the Falcons? You don't need another wide receiver. You need anything besides that. But the way they draft is always offensively for the dude. They took a quarterback last year. No one saw it coming. I agree. I agree with the pick. I like Michael Penix Jr. Give him more weapons. Give him people. Emeka Ikabuka, bam. Right off to the Falcons, 15th pick. You see where we're going with this? You are the Arizona Cardinals now. Ikabuka's off the table. You need an edge. You need a defensive tackle. You know who just fell to you, Cardinals? Mason Graham. Mason Graham fell to you. Take it. That's a great pick. Take the Mason Graham and run. You stole him from the draft. Mason Graham off to the Cardinals. They have their offense pretty well down. Many rounds to go. Mason Graham goes to the Cardinals. That is outstanding. Bengals are up next. People have them taking an edge. They're needy at edge. They're needy at defensive tackle, guard. You need a guard, cornerback. I mean, yeah, cornerback room. You need it. Man, I mean, you're the Bengals. You got Joe Burrow. You have to protect this guy. You just have to protect this guy. People, there are very few times where you get a Joe Burrow and you don't want to injure this guy. Defense is just, you have a dude that wants some money, Hendrickson, I guess, right? He wants money. The best way to tell him, sorry, dude, you're not getting any money, is by drafting somebody in his position and then watching him walk. That would be a very conscientious decision financially. Do the Bengals draft like that? Do they draft somebody for Joe Burrow? Is this you got best player of it? You got Shamir Stewart out there, and Stewart. I've watched his tape. He does not close on on quarterbacks that much, so you're not really getting much out. He's a big guy, though. I mean, he's big. Kelvin Banks Jr. is still out there. Geez, I have a feeling that you have a monster like Michael Williams, Mike Green, just taking out offensive players. Honestly, they should go a Tyler Booker on this one. That's what they should definitely do. Are they going to do it? Man, I am really reluctant to say that they will. Really reluctant. They have Gesicki at tight end. Okay. You know what? I would say that they just they need somebody back there to rob some balls too. So let's go Jahad Barron, cornerback, Texas. They just grab him up because they need somebody back there. I think they're going to try to work it out with Trey Hendrickson. If not, I think they will draft in the second round on edge. But these cornerbacks, there aren't many of them. So you got to get one of them in the first round if you're even the slightest cornerback needy. The Seattle Seahawks, new look, new quarterback, Sam Darnold. Okay. You need a tackle. You need maybe a wide receiver. You need a cornerback. I don't really think they need a cornerback or an edge that much. Let's get this going though. You need your run support going, and if you're gonna want to have if you're gonna want to have your run support going 100%, you take Tyler Booker out of Alabama. The way Kubiak runs his offensive system, it's perfect. It's a good idea. He does the outside runs. It's a good fit. It's a good idea. I think that the Seahawks are trying to have as many good ideas as possible right now. We're on to the Buccaneers. Buccaneers, they need a lot too. They looked great last year, by the way. Won a lot of money believing in Baker Mayfield's ability to throw to Mike Evans. Chris Godwin is still going to come back. They are not needy offensively. They have their offense clicking. Their defense needs something. And I mean, it needs something special. So Where do you find something special? Um, Cornerback? Do you go cornerback on this one? Do you go defensive tackle? Where do you find special at in this draft? I mean, Shamir Stewart, I wouldn't really count him as the top tiered edge rusher. Um, let's go Mike Green to the Buccaneers. Dude's breaking records. Everyone's doubting him. The last player the Buccaneers picked that everyone kind of doubted on was Baker Mayfield, and it kind of worked out for them. So let's take Mike Green there, and now we are the Broncos on the clock. Running back, wide receiver, linebacker. Which way do we go? Cornerback, tight end. Who do the Broncos pick? The Broncos have selected before running backs from North Carolina. They haven't worked out. Okay. I think Sean Payton is keen on the idea of realizing there are running backs that he can pick up in later rounds. So, wide receiver, you got Burden out there, Trey Harris. You're at the bottom of that idea. Tight ends, Mason Taylor, we got left on the board. Again, you're at the bottom of this idea. I get it. You need offense, and everyone's taken. Cornerback. You have Siobhan Ripple. I like the idea there. I really do. Do I think the Broncos are going to get booed off the stage if they take him? Yeah, absolutely. Yes, they will. Um, I don't think Sean Payton cares, though. I don't think he cares about getting booed off the stage. I think he likes function over form, and whoever is going to function correctly in the defense. Jahad Campbell would have been a nice pick. There's injury concerns, though. I think they want to get in win now mode as fast as possible. Yeah, there's just a lot of running backs just right there in a second round ready. They go deep. Um, it's not always Sean Payton making the decisions, though. All right, so let's give them the form over function. The Siobhan Revel to the Broncos. And by the way, this will be the only mock draft you will see with that happening. Everyone has Hampton going to the Broncos. On to the Steelers. They don't have a quarterback. So we're getting right at it. They also don't have a running back. They also think that since the Broncos didn't take Amarion Hampton, did somebody just fall to us? Is that what happened? Maybe we gotta. No, the Steelers go for big school running backs. Najee Harris, Alabama. Okay, that's what they trust. That's what they know. Jackson Dart or Jalen Milrow? Do they want to mirror what's going on in Baltimore with a Jalen Milrow type? Do they want? Or is that the route to take? Is that the correct route to take? Wide receiver, cornerback. I mean, it's all over the place. You strengthen up the defensive line if you're Mike Tomlin. I think you feel a little bit of pressure from up top, upstairs, and it's a no brainer to a degree. I think the Steelers do take a look at Jackson Dart, Jalen Milrow, go side by side with them, and Jackson Dart. I would take Jalen Milrow if I was the Steelers, but I think they're going to be looked at like you don't have many options going on here. Um, so I think what you do is you look at the athletes on the safety side of the ball. Nick Emanwari, is that an idea? Man, it's kind of tough. really kind of tough. I would I'm just gonna say the Steelers just go ahead and I don't know how lost Jackson Dart is gonna be in an offense like this. Because man, he is used to just whipping the ball and just being in a system type situation. Man, something does tell me that the Steelers just are going to be a little confused on who to pick as well. So if I'm the Steelers, I saw what Justin Fields could do, where our offensive line was a little crumbly at moments. So let's go with a quarterback for the Steelers in the first round. And let's take that quarterback as oh God, I can't pull the trigger on either one of them because Tyler Shug is still there too. I think the Steelers are going to wait for quarterback. The last time they picked a quarterback in the first round, Kenny Pickett, didn't work out for them. That's got to stick with them a little bit. The yeah, and at this point, you could probably pick two quarterbacks if you wanted to. You could probably pick two. So I'm going to say the Steelers go running back on this one. And I would say the Steelers. Man, it is tough. This is tougher than it looks right now because the Steelers. I have no idea. I have no idea who they would really pick. So quarterback, you get Aaron Rodgers, have Jackson Dart learn after him. Draft Jackson Dart. Steelers draft Jackson Dart. Chargers are up next. Chargers are up. Defensive tackles in need, wide receivers in need, cornerbacks in need. If I'm Harbaugh, I want a cornerback I can plug in there, ready to roll, no big deal. Also, if I'm Harbaugh, I want a running back too. My running backs get hurt a lot. I think they just signed a running back as well. So it's probably not an immediate need. Luther Burden's still there. Defensive tackles are roaming around here. I would go defensive tackle Walter Nolan. This guy's tape is outstanding, by the way. Walter Nolan to the Chargers. Let's go Packers. Green Bay Packers. No one knows who the Packers are ever going to pick. All right. Not even them. I wouldn't say they'd go for linebacker, that's for sure. Edge rusher, I don't really see it happening. All these need areas that I see the Packers needing, I don't see them even taking or wanting or whatever. I don't see anything happening like that. Kelvin Banks Jr., Jordan Love up and alive. Offensive tackles are very tough to run by. Grab them up. The Packers have no need for them, but that's what the Packers are kind of like in the draft. The Vikings on the clock. Brian Flores, defensive coordinator. My God. You need a safety. You need a cornerback. Nick Imwanwori. Is that the guy you go for? Absolutely. Safeties are kind of deep in this draft, but the guy is an athlete. I mean, that is a specimen right there. Yeah, Benjamin Morrison still there at Notre Dame. I love Morrison. I have no idea how he's ranked so low. He's in these mock drafts. Do you go an edge? They have Dallas Turner still as an edge. I don't really see them going edge, honestly. It's not a thing. You can get Michael Williams, Shamir Stewart. You can go double edge. I think they have a pretty sophisticated flash blitz rush going on for themselves. So let's go. Safety blitz is a thing that you can do with Nicky Imwanwori. Take him, grab him up. South Carolina prospect, combine, excellent. On to the Houston Texans. Texans, Texans, Texans. Who do you go with? What do you do? What do you see? I see a draft board with plenty and plenty of talent there. Shamir Stewart's still hanging around. Derek Harmon is still also there. Mikel Williams, Jihad Campbell. You got to keep your quarterback upright. And their offensive line has now just been depleted. Josh Simmons, Ohio State, you go that way. No problem at all. I mean, no problem at all. No blinking about it. The Rams are on the clock. The Rams are on the clock. And what do you do if you're the Rams? You're out. One Cooper Cup is gone. You have a Devontae Adams. Cool. Puka Nakua's out there doing his thing. Also very cool. Defense. You got to get defensively correct. You know Sean McVay is not going to take a running back. Not with them being this deep. So I would say you'd want to go what? Cornerback, linebacker. I would say edge even. Let's go an edge. A little bit of brush up time and Shamir Stewart or Micah Williams. Let's go Stewart. Texas A&M. Let's go. Ravens. Ravens on the clock. Again, you want Lamar Jackson, but with this new field of players here, oh my God, you got your pick of the litter right now, and it's it's looking like cornerback Notre Dame. They like these Notre Dame players. I would go cornerback Notre Dame. Gray Zabel's still there, North Dakota State. See how he translates to the NFL. I don't think you can really ignore Mikel Williams, though. The guy, he's going to be if he's there, you need an edge and a linebacker. I would say you grab him up. Jihad Campbell is also there. He's a little hurt right now. The Ravens, do they pick a player that's hurt? That's not really their bag. He's banged up big time. Yeah, I would definitely picked a cornerback last year. Kid's doing pretty good. All around. So let's get a pass rusher, Mikel Williams. Yeah, out of Georgia for the Ravens. Another time for the Lions to continue their run attack because they need an outside guard. I think Zabel is the best you can do in this idea. So let's go Gray Zabel to the Detroit Lions. It's a smart idea all around. You can get your Jahmyr Gibbs, Montgomery look going for you. Onto the Commanders, onto the Washington Commanders. We are moving right through it, people. Washington Commanders. They got a good wide receiver. I think I can figure out what they're trying to do. The Washington Commanders kind of with the Austin Eckler, McCaffrey, Brian Robinson idea. It's workable. It really is workable. But you're the Washington Commanders. I mean, my God, what do you end up doing? Do you go for an edge? Do you go for an edge rusher? Do you go cornerback on this one? I say get the plug and play cornerback. Get Morrison. The Washington Commanders to draft Morrison, not a bad idea. Do you get an Amari Hampton? I mean, I don't know. It's tough. It's the Commanders. So I would lean You'd got to go defense. You got to also have to kind of protect the quarterback there. Jaden Daniels is your future. So let's protect him as much as possible. Let me see what we got left on the board here. We are coming close to the end, guys. Normally you see the Commanders have already picked because my God, they are just never 100%. Sort of the Simmons is off the board. Nolan's off the board. Where are you? Do. Yeah, I would say the yeah, I'd say the Washington Commanders pick actually, yeah. I'd say the Washington Commanders take James Pierce Jr. out of Tennessee. You want pressure on quarterbacks, you gotta have somebody out there to chase after Jalen Hurts. You gotta have somebody out there to chase after Russell Wilson, to get after Dak Prescott. James Pierce Jr., that's who you pick. That's who you get. Meanwhile, in Buffalo, yeah, Buffalo should definitely look into uh, linebacker Campbell. Take Campbell. You can take a gamble on Campbell. Um, actually, screw that. Buffalo takes Harmon. Harmon out of Oregon. Probably one of the better defensive tackles. And yeah, rounding it up, the Chiefs. I would say the Chiefs. You definitely need to protect Pat Mahomes. Um, it's God, it is not fun to watch him get smashed around during the Super Bowl. So you need a big body defender there. I mean, I would say let's go Josh Cornelly Jr. And then you got the Eagles as far as the Eagles can go. Oh, man. The Eagles, you should just get Kenneth Grant. Yeah. Or Georgia, do your thing. But guys, comment any picks you think I was right about, I was wrong about. I'm probably not going to be 100% accurate on this. That's just the way these things work out. My name's Kevin Neary. Glad to be with you. I have to get some sleep. This has been a lot of fun to just get this off my chest.